I really want to cry, guys. Um, I spent an hour and a half going over what I'm gonna be redoing. Back at 10:30. Uh, Apparently OBS likes to change its settings on you, and if you don't ever double check your recordings, you you kind of get like this is gone. Like you always have to go to fucking properties, and it's on default. You have to move it back. Um, yeah, audio didn't pick up. So I went through 30, 40 animes for what I was going to go and tell you because I was halfway through, and I just wanted to make sure what my time was on it. It was expect this to be a long one. I'm not going to timestamp this because I'm terrible with timestamping. I don't like editing timestamps. This is more critiques. Um, since I've already gone through this, I should be a little bit more efficient, faster, and shouldn't be an hour and a half to get through 2 pages of what I'm going to see. So, this would be amazing if whoever views this knows of a person or the person who watches this takes this constructive criticism of anime and primarily in the genre Izakis. Isekai, as I should say. I keep saying Izakis. Isekai. What is Isekai? Isekai is an alternate world. Either you can travel between them, you're reincarnated, or however it is, where it's two worlds or a body that gets resurrected. So, a lot of people like Isekai for, well, those who like to reminiscence about what ifs or what happened if I had a different life. The what if peoples like this, and I am a huge what if. I daydream all the time. I write books, and those books are based off of dreams and what ifs. Um, this is your what if animes. So I'm gonna stab myself multiple times because I had to go through this. Um, Developers, publishers, creators, directors, everyone that is associated with making the story and the characters, I am trying to reach out to them on this. If you give me the ability to say, hey, what kind of anime would you want us to make? I will make you the next Overlord, the next Solo Leveling, the next Free Run. There is so much, and you do not need to go far. The biggest issue with the differences between Izakis and Shoujins are, well, so Shoujins are, you're limited. You're limited with episodes. Most, like if it's 13 episodes, it's like 9 out of 10 times it's going to be 12 episodes for a season. If it's 13, it's because of personal reasons, like how Solo Leveling had 13 episodes because one of the main voice actors had COVID. Um, so that would happen. They'll make a spin-off for that one episode until that person recovers and moves on. Or you get some just like weird episode, and usually it's trash. Mostly it's trash. Um, so I am critiquing and rating off of character development, character design, the plot, and the story overall. Um, a lot of isekais fail in story. Those that don't fail in story and plot are the ones that's usually rated 8 or above. Um, Most of these that I do enjoy and recommend are usually just 8s or 8.5. Very rarely will you have me rate something more than that. Um, so we're going to go uh, and go through each one um, and see where you guys think about this stuff. So, recreators. Some of these I'm going to be judging off of just the looks, just because I haven't watched it or it's not my style. I've watched this one. Not all of it, I think I'm halfway through. I'm through the first season. 8 out of 10. Right now, 8 out of 10. This is where they fail. So, Hianime, all this anime are free. Just be careful about the ads. Get an ad blocker. It's all crap. Um, but this stuff are all ranked by viewers who watch it. This one, apparently not enough people watched it to give this a better rating because it is fantastically done. The people who made this, pat yourself on the back. You did a phenomenal job. The characters are so emotional and so well developed. The only thing that's a cry is there's not enough screen time for all of them. It is a loss in that department. It feels like this was made from the manga. I think there was an actual manga to this, or a manga was created after this. Either way, you guys did a fantastic job, and it was beautifully well done. The designs, the characters, all beautiful. Every character here is beautiful. Um, the story itself flows easily. There's no ups and downs with each episode. It was always intense, at the edge of your seat watching. This one I binged, and it's been a while since I watched this, so I'm going to binge it again. I just hope I stop having acid reflux so I can actually have some snacks and soda pop. So 8.5, easy. Only thing I would say is, even though it's a 18 plus, and most of the animes that I like are 18 plus because they have no restrictions. And I think this is where it labels hentai if it shows more than the boob. These don't show boobs. Kind of sad. I definitely wouldn't mind having a tit pop out once in a while. Definitely when you lose half your clothes due to some crazy ass attack. Because for me, most the animes that I like are when they're realistic. What I mean by realistic is you don't have this convenient censorship of body parts, male or female. If your pants, if the bulk in your pants break, your pants are gonna fall. It's gonna show your underwear. If you're one of those freaky people um, who goes commando, it's gonna show your junk, and that's what it should go. Uh, I'll also go through some political and personal preference, so please don't feel like I'm targeting any particular viewer and their standards. I'm just telling you my beliefs, my morals, and how I see things. And I'll try to explain it most respectfully because I believe everyone deserves the respect that's deserved. Just don't demand it. Um, so, moving on, recreators watch. Definitely one of those ones where, yeah, you can watch an episode here and there if you have a busy schedule. This is something that you should watch all at once. I think 12 episodes is like 4.5 hours. So spend a whole day, enjoy it, do it on a weekend or on a free day, or a cheat day if you have a diet and you want to have some snacks and watch this. It's definitely worth watching. Now, going on, Inuyasha. This is one of the grandfathers of Isekai. The main character, Kagome, is it? Um, she, she's, what do you call it? A shrine maiden or shrine priestess. She lives between worlds, between two worlds, just like Escaflowne, and some other Isekai that you didn't die, you didn't reincarnate, you're not a ghost, you just transfer to the other side. Um, so this one, it's an 8. Every season is an 8. Um, I think this is a Shojin. Yeah, Shonen. Um, so they should have thriller in here too, because there's some thriller aspects to it too. I guess that's where they put the supernatural. But this one, Inuyasha, he's good. This has a little bit of romance. They should definitely put more emphasis on the romance and the sacrifices they make, and it's not cringy when this guy is head over heel for her, but he's not the MC. He's one of the MCs, I should say. This is a two-person, but it goes around Kagome. Um, but I think that when a person loves another person, they strive to get their attention, their love, their recognition, and if it's to be as it should be, and they fall in love, I want that to be stronger, not like, oh, they blushed, her ankles were showing and he was like aroused. No, don't make it too sexualized, but there should be some innuendos in here. That's the only thing that they didn't have. It is a 2000s. I think it's a little bit older than 2000s. Actually, I'm very confident this is just American released at this aired, because I think this is like late 90s. But anyways, good anime, good story, and just like any other shonen, each season is its own story plot. Going on, Ascendance of a Bookworm. I haven't watched this. Character design looks good. The artwork is looks beautiful. Uh, this is where I'm gonna say I don't like watching isekais or animes with children, unless it's a horror and it's 18 plus. Because I, yeah, there's times where I want to enjoy a good story that's wholesome. Slice of life, if you go about that. Just nothing scary. There's a little bit of action from what I've seen from the clips, but yeah, no, this is one of those ones where I will give it a 8. What do they rate it? Yeah, they gave it an 8. So anyone who likes a slice of life and a little bit of fancy in the isekai world, go ahead, watch it. Um, I'll probably end up watching this when I want a little slice of life. I'm very limited on that. I prefer slice of life that's 18 plus, just because I'm a degenerate. Um, but besides of that, uh, for those guys that want to try, I'm going to say I recommend this. Just because I did see a brief clip on it, and this person has strong beliefs and they don't bend, and that's what I want. Going on, this one had such great promises, and they fucking dropped the ball. Even though the second season was good, it's not great. I give this season one is a 8. Well, 7.5 to an 8. I would say an 8 on the first half of the season. It drops down to a little bit less than an 8. I want to say like a 7.8. Because with harems, it's a very hit and miss. It is so borderline of what should be and what shouldn't be. Um, this is the reason why I always say, uh, don't gray line. Don't walk between the lines of degenerate behavior and convenient censorship. And don't make it fucking weird. Most harems, anime styles are all the same. You got flat chest, you got medium chest, you got large, and you get absurd large. Not necessarily, shouldn't even be there, shouldn't even exist. This one falls in that category when it comes to the hentai. I think it would have been better if it was a hentai. Harem. Um, the action in the first half of the season is well done. It reminds me of Solo Leveling when it comes to that. The struggles, the sacrifices, the betrayal. You worked and you struggled and you succeed. You weren't invincible. You weren't overpowered on minute one. You grew into overpowered. Um, where things drop is when things don't make sense. This is where the students, and it's the whole classroom, gets teleported to another world, and everyone's supposed to get trained. They're all heroes, and they're trained to save the nation from certain doom. And there's a plot twist in it that doesn't show until the later half of the first season and second season. Um, but it was definitely half-assed. Like, it was steady. They did keep to the script, but they explained it so poorly and they rushed a lot of it. When it comes to plots, just like books and everything, if it's a series, the first book or the first novel should be the explanations. You're setting up for success. You're not going to succeed right away. No anime succeeds on episode 1 or chapter 1. It's laying out the story, the practicality, and the reality of the world. And a lot of the animes and isekais don't understand this. And I really want people to really understand the world you create is yours and yours alone. No one outside of your world can manipulate that and shouldn't be able to interfere with it. You could be inspired, but if it's already created and you want to implement something else into it, be very careful because you can ruin it and you'll ruin the viewer's experience. This is what happened here. Um, I definitely can see why they would give it a 6.5 because it's not over sexualized. It's the story. It was rushed, and the MC sacrificed a lot. He worked and he suffered, but he persevered. And now he just came down to the point where he can create anything he wants because it's alchemy based, and uh, that's it. He makes tanks from rocks. What high school boy knows how to make a fucking tank, a bazooka, machine gun, minigun, a fucking jeep? That's where it gets redundant and stupid and shouldn't be. Because it makes no sense. You got this guy making anything he wants. You limited the person's ability, and then you over exaggerate that ability. Just like Redo Healer and Shield Hero, you over exaggerate their limitations, and you really need to not do that. People who have done it should feel ashamed. It might not be necessarily you that created it. It could have been just a publisher or director that says, hey, you know, you create this character, but I want this added to it because I want it, because I want it this way. No, fuck that shit. Um, don't get fired, but definitely express yourself. Because these characters that you create are yours. They're your children. They're your life. They're your babies. Um, just don't make it stupid. Um, Farther in, he becomes absurdly strong. Things don't make sense on his abilities. There's a semi-balance to action, but the action is too quick. I think the first 2 or 3 episodes of this was him struggling. It was a steamroller, but it was good because with steamrolling animes, uh, they persevere and things just fucking crash in front of them. Um, Due to their determination, their hate, and their just determination. Like, you're determined to eliminate this person that betrayed you. You will utterly destroy them. You'll delete the entire zip code with them in it. That's how it should be. That's what I like, and that's where I like this. Definitely worth watching. But it completely changed on the second season. Second season was kind of crap. I'm not gonna lie. Everything's rushed. The harem made no sense. Just like most harems now, it's the girls chasing the guy. It's never the guy struggling to get the women. Um, and this guy is like semi-blind to the women. Doesn't take advantage of them. Of course, he's a kid, both in his other world and here. So, yeah, but every teenage boy is pervert. So don't try and make yourself look like boys are innocent. Same thing with girls. It's called puberty for a reason. Going on. Didn't watch this. Won't watch this. This looks stupid. Um, the moment your hairstyle looks like this, I'm not gonna watch it. Because when you exaggerate hairstyles and you get some weird ass fucking pink curly shit on the main character, is the moment we don't take your anime serious. Um, this has no comedy, so they try to make this serious. This looks like one of those Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it's game-based, obviously card fight. Uh, just like Yu-Gi-Oh! Hairstyles are absurd, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Was original. It got grandfathered in. I enjoyed it, even though and it's always the guys with the weird fucking colored hair. The girls, it's just weird. It starts reminding me of Pokemon. Um, I don't do it. I don't do most game-based animes. Yu-Gi-Oh was one. Pokemon was one. Pokemon wasn't even a fucking game. They made competition. And No Life is another one. That's not necessarily a game. They're in a game. This one you just play a game. Um, yeah, no, don't. And 6.5 might be too generous, but this might be just for the younger audience. Uh, Moving on. This one, I haven't watched it, but this looks like it's from the 90s. Yes, it is. A lot of animes from the 90s are good. I will say because they're originals, they're the origin stories for ones that will get repeatedly beaten down dead with a stick. Because Isekai is known for repeating stories and not giving a shit. They are terrible as long as they make a minute profit. They will make it, and that's what I feel like a lot of these people don't put the love and effort into their stories, and this is terrible. But coming here, it looks like it's a 7 out of 6. I would give it probably that, because I haven't watched it, so the story might be weird. Um, Character design is good. The uh, the the anime's design looks beautiful. a lot of stuff I respect about the 80s and 90s and early 2000s with drawn out characters is there's emotions into it, and that's what I like. And I'll always watch it because I believe these people who created it put their hearts and soul into it, unlike CGI stuff that should just go straight to hell. Caution Hero, uh, beautiful plot, but it crashed. Um, the first couple of episodes, I was at the edge of my seat. I enjoyed it. I always loved it. I binged it because usually when I go through halfway through a season, I have to finish it, even if it means I have to skip stuff. This one I didn't skip. This one should have been 18 plus. The reason I give it a 7.5. The plot was good. The main character was good. Everything else was trash. Character development between these women are trash. Um, it's a harem. Can I say harem on here? No. Well, I guess their consideration of the harem is when girls follow, and this one's more like a support belief system, not physically following this one individual. It's just a party of two. Um, so this one is between a pantheon of gods and goddesses, and the main character who gets summoned into this world from another one to defeat the Demon King. Your hysterical, typical fucking isekai. Um, I think it's like they're supposed to fight in worlds, but all this was based in one. So it kind of, I, I thought in the beginning, I think they probably forgot their own fucking story. I swear they said that worlds were being taken over and they need to stop them. And I think this is where they can get the second season slipped in here. But this is 2019, they only had one season. Uh, Man, a lot of these I feel like it's new is actually fucking old. 6 years old. Um, but this character is a video gamer. I relate to him the most in this aspect of if I go into a new world, I'm going to take my time, evaluate, and I'm going to min-max the fuck out of everything. Alright, I'm going to do all the fucking side quests. I'm going to go pluck a flower, give it to the person, get that experience, move on, but I'm going to keep on saying it. I'm going to pick all these fucking flowers, get me my one experience point until I get 200, get my level up. I'm going to get this one attribute to my strength. I'm going to fuck this person up who would really just belittle me. I'm very vindictive. I will express it. I'm cold, calculated, and calm. I will annihilate you. That's what I want. This person, his behavior is more childish towards than that. But I'm fucking a millennial, so I have standards, and I'm old. I'm not this person. The characters' developments on these are trash. The struggles, the training isn't there. It's very quick. The action's very fast. It's not longer than 3 minutes, I think. Like literally 3 or 5 minutes. I think a fucking advertisement's longer. Between their combat scenes. They need to express and exaggerate the fighting on that in order to produce that. It would have succeeded greater if it was 18 plus. Add a little bit of fan service. This fucking bitch right here is almost naked. Add some fan service, vulnerable situations, pop a boob out, but also most importantly, make it gruesome, make it gory. Give it a reason to make this character have struggled. This one, they're pretty fast on becoming OP. There's no struggle compared to this one, where it spends a good portion of the episodes of him developing to who he is. There's no development here. This is a precursor, a pre-plot that was set up You already understood the situation, you knew the objective, and it was succeeded. Well, the objective was successful, but it was quick. I give this a 7.5 out of 10 on that. Uh, Beautiful characters, beautiful design, story could have had a lot more work into it. And stop making these women bitchy. This one I haven't watched. I don't watch wholesome slice of life as much, even though it's not. I hate isekais that's young, childish age and maturity. It's too much, and I'll label these as what I call tee hee hee girls or characters or mentalities, because they all want to be little princesses and fairies. Um, this one is given a 6.8. I would give it a 6.5, because it's based for one type of genre of audience, for the younger audiences. So, but I'm pretty sure someone would like it. It looks like their characters are whitewashed when it comes to their personalities, but I think the design on here was beautiful. Moving on. And this is where I get so fucking frustrated with titles. Don't ever make a fucking sentence for a title. Alright? If I had to take a breath between reading a title, you did something wrong. Alright? You should just have mother's multi-target attacks, or change. Yeah, I would recommend you just changing it. Like, my life with my overpowered mother. Something short. All right. Uh, the character design is beautiful. The plot is silly. I think that's what they were trying to do. Carefree silliness. Um, Character's very based. Uh, the mom's most likely a pedophile. Uh, it's fan service, which I don't mind. This one is a good balance between it, but it's what do you call it? Just too weak. Character development is very weak. Uh, you got a grown ass single mother who looks like she's 26. I think there's actual age discrepancy on this. Um, I think they said she was like 26. Um, but I think in all actuality she might be like 32 or whatever. But if she's 26 and her son's like 16, 17, there's something going on, all right? I definitely think this should have been an 18 plus if it came down to that. Life happens. Children have children. Even nowadays, you got fucking 14-year-olds who have kids, and it shouldn't happen, but it happens. And if this is trying to touch on that, then just make it 18 plus. Give out an episode where she tells her story about how she met her husband or whoever it could be, and most people will think it's a fucking old ass guy who took advantage of a cute little girl. It could actually just be children having a child. Um, a love story that was misconceived, and their understanding or lack of it, arrogance, or ignorance, or just blind to it. Whatever the situation is, that's where this should have been 18 plus to give, that close to home story, because I know a lot of women who had kids before they were 18, and it's sad that kids have to become adults to take care, or they lose their children to parents, grandparents, or orphanages, and that should happen. It's funny. She's hot. I watched this only because of her, and the situation she put herself into. Fan service, not enough. It could have been a good hentai, I think. But outside of that, it's good balance on the harem aspect, but stereotypical. Flat chest, little boob, more boob, bigger boobs, biggest boob. Um, It's literally just rated on that. It's rated on boobs when it comes to harems. And it's always the shorter ones that's either acting like a child or they're the most matured ones. There's no balance between personalities, and the personalities on here are kind of warped. A little bit half and half of what they are. It feels cynical, in a way. You can agree to disagree or whatever. The anime's good. I give it 7.5 out of 10. And they gave less. So it's based on your preference. Um, if you're a guy that is an incel or degenerate, go ahead and watch it. If you're not, then you're to give it a meh ranking, which is like this. Going on, Gate. Good story. Not a lot of isekais that have this, except for solo leveling. Um, but unlike solo leveling, where gates appear randomly to dungeons, this one is just one gate that appeared in Japan, and it brings it to a fancy medieval world where they had no technology. Um, Honestly, if it was like in Russia or US, I think we would just fucking decimated the thing and occupied and just moved on. Um, but Japan, being more conservative, uh, took the route that they should have, and it's good. I honestly don't know why it's a 18 plus. There's some action, there's some blood, not much for gore. They could do more brutal combat, longer lasting combat. Combat here is short lived, but it's enjoyable. First season's better than second season. Second season has a little bit more action, um, but it's sparse in between. I think it's just longer. Um, the issue with these is that it's rushed. It's one of those situations where it doesn't give enough time to flesh out stories. These stories are quick and easily obtained, and the plot for that is that reason. It's too obtainable. Yeah, sure, we got all this Japanese Defense Force and Special Forces, doing intel, recon, and getting rid of a situation before it starts or finishing a situation that started. Um, it is one of those things where they drag on too much on one spot and not enough on others. There needs to be a better balance between it. But besides of that, artwork, character design, and the plot is wonderful. I just think that just like I have been reincarnated as a slime, I consider this what I call a conquest. Not necessarily the main character going from zero to having everything, but he achieved his goals and the recognition that he deserves. Well done, beautiful women, absurdly huge tits on this chick, no tits on this chick. Um, but if you go around that, it is still a harem. And they don't have a harem on here. All the girls like him. Um, Grimgar is beautiful. I'm going to say this is a slice of life, but not in your general way. I don't even think it's on there. So, my slice of life is them trying to live every day to the best of their ability. That's my understanding of slice of life. It's not homey, it's not wholesome, it is just life. Um, a lot of sacrifices are made, hardship, and heartbreaks. Like, it's bittersweet. Character development is wonderful. Artwork is wonderful. I definitely had a hots for her and what was it, the wizard chick here. Um, but it should have had a second season, or they should have just made this longer. Spread out the story more. Um, Give it a little bit more of that slice of life of them just living in hardship. Uh, just because that's how this was portrayed, it just needed more of it. I recommend it. It's a 8.5 out of 10. It's a 7 just because I think it's not new. It's definitely had time for people to watch, but I think people need to give this a try. Um, how Not to Summon a Demon Lord. This is me pervertized. But I wouldn't be as a pushover like him. He's a pushover when it comes to being a pervert. Just take advantage of the situation. These girls apparently in this story and plot enjoy it. They definitely won't push you away. Um, Literally, I don't think one girl would push you away. Maybe the redhead, which is my favorite, um, she would play hard to get, and then she was my second favorite. But anyways, this one's a harem. There's two versions. I think there's two seasons, but I can't say for sure. If it's not two seasons, it definitely needs a two season. I think it's two seasons. I hope so, anyways. They definitely need to put another one in. The difference between these, as you'll see, this little icon right here is fan service. All right. This has convenient censorship. If a girl goes topless, randomly a cap or arm reaches out and just blocks the nipple, or whatever. Very convenient for them, not convenient for us. It's more of an inconvenience. Anyways, if you are a pervert or a degenerate or an incel, watch this. If you are, watch this. I don't think this was cut in half. I think they just added parts to it. I think the time is the same, just 2 episodes less. Unless it's those episodes that have fillers. I don't know. I hate fillers. Anyways, moving to the storyline. This guy is a gamer. This Isekai is a game. He gets teleported from his world into the game. Um, it's what do you call it? He's overpowered from the get-go. He Once he starts understanding the world and the realities, he gets more stronger. He gets stronger, but it seems like he always has something in his inventory. Like he just like was it kind of like an overlord where the game is at the last before the server's closed, and it just goes from there. Um, Character design, beautiful. Character plot, base. They could have definitely did more. The man is older. He's not a high schooler. He's an adult, but he acts like a child. I definitely take advantage of the situation at hand. If girl throws herself at me, I'm not going to say no, unless I really fucking hate her, or she's just not my type. Very stereotypical damsel in distress. Girls do limited fighting. Like they're always weak, and he supersedes and overshine on their abilities. They're just side characters to him, and that's where it sucks. Like there should be a balance. Like he doesn't have some abilities she has that outshines hers, and she has abilities, but they do. But it's like he just throws out a summon and just like completely wipes the whole ideal and concept of them actually fighting and helping him. Like no one can help him. Like he's too powerful, omnipotent compared to these characters. Like he's S, they're E. That's how it's ranked. And they seem to not show the growth of their abilities. Like you think you working with him, you get stronger. as you guys go through more adventures and action. And you don't. You don't show off the powers. You're just boobs jiggling, and it's a competition between flat chest and bodacious tits. That's all it is. It's comedy. It is actually enjoyable comedy. I'll say this, like I did before I realized that audio wasn't working on OBS, was I hate real life comedy nowadays because they're not Jim Carrey, they're not Robin Williams. All this stuff is forced. Even we'll put Adam Sandler in there too. Everything's forced. I'm gonna say the older movies of his, not the newer ones. The newer ones look like it's been rushed, or forced. I don't like forced comedy or forced jokes. Make it natural. You make a situation awkward, and that's what makes it funny. This one, they had a good balance. They can initiate that. I think they put the situation around the joke, where they try in real life, they try to find the joke to put into the situation. Um, I give this, I give season one an 8 out of 10. I give season two, or if it's not two seasons, I'm give the other half. Yeah, no, there's two seasons. I give the other half, maybe. God dang it. I give the later half, 7.8, 7.7, just because the kind of lowball the story. I'm standing on A Million Bodies. It is another less redundant Isekai. Uh, this is a game slash reality mind twister ordeal, where like this overlord or overseer summons kids from high school into a world where they had to do a quest. They obtain skills through success. These skills are related to job roles, from cook to wizard to swordsman to knight, so on and so forth. But they can only pick one at a time. But they had to unlock it, and I think it's like a little chance wheel where they roll the wheel, and whatever lands on is what the next roll they unlock. Really good, beautiful design, story's strong, but I think it's kind of pushed in some aspects. Definitely waiting for season two, which should have been out. I wish it would have been out. I think a lot of these developers just like jump between 5 fucking animes. They should just finish one, go to the next one. Unless they're very successful where they can split off, and once that's not, you know, pushed into creating this as it is, or actually, I think they should just hop between one, one and another. Anyways, I give this 8 out of 10. It's beautiful. The story has a few flaws. Just like I said before, you make the reality, but once you start bending the reality in your own world, it starts to not make sense, and it's kind of borderlines on not making sense. Moving on, in another world with my smartphone, I watched this. It had a lot of potential, and it lowball. It's a harem. It is romance, but in the weakest form of romance. These girls are head over heels for this boy. This boy, I think, was an actual adult at the time. Mentally, you're a fucking pedophile. Um, if you're a guy and you're like a middle-aged guy and you just die and go in and get reincarnated and you're a teenage, yeah, it's legal. Yeah, this, that, whatever. But if you still have your memories from the old days, that's going to be one of those questionable ordeals. But outside of that, it had potential. It got ruined. comedy isn't there. Um, it's crap. Like, I don't think I laughed once in this. Um, the story was weak. The character plot was weak. There is no personality between all of them. They're all the same. They just look different. You got a freaking lolly. You got flat chest with a younger sister that has a bigger chest. You got chick who thinks she's a samurai that wears weird ass fucking uh what do you call it? Um bandages for a bra. Like, it's weird. And then you got some princess. Uh it definitely dropped. It had potential. The first one or two episodes, it was good, and then I was out of nowhere. He's just OP. Weak. It sparsed story. It jumped all over the place, and it just didn't make sense. Inuyasha, same as I said previously, 8 across the board. I don't watch chibis and I don't watch parodies. So I'm not going to give you anything except for what people already watched this. So if you like chibis, parodies, then go ahead and watch that. Konosuba is comedy. I laugh at its jokes. Boy died. I don't think it was by. I think it was by the goddess. Like, Aqua, I think, accidentally killed him, and as a punishment, she gets revived, and as a punishment for her, she has to be his guide in his life. Um, he's a pervert, but he doesn't take advantage of the women when they should. Um, if you're, and like I said before, if you're a fucking teenager, man or girl, you are gonna take chances on parts. Obviously, he would probably grope her on one of those scenes where they sleep in the barn together. Like, the chick doesn't wear underwear, alright? Things gonna happen. And if you do that, not what he did, but if you make that situation where you wear a microskirt, you don't wear underwear, obviously people gonna look. Anyways, character plot was good for the comedy aspect. The overall story is non-existent. I think it's just them trying to live day by day, so it's slice of life, but not in the aspect because it's I don't even know where the supernatural comes in because that's not really supernatural. It's pretty weak. It's very washed, and there's not a lot of action. Um, but it's good. I give it an 8 out of 10 for the first. The second would be a little bit less because it gets sidetracked. They do progress, which is good. Megumin's older, no, not older sister, the other one, the more bodacious one, not the baby one, is hot. Also Aqua, but her airheadedness is like one of those ones that's like, you're either an incel or you're degenerate. Moving on, Knight's Magic. This is one of those ones where it was definitely a miss. When it comes to its reality. Like I said 3 times already, if you make a world, make it make sense to the realities of it, the physics of it, alright? If it's sword and sorcery, why in the hell is there a fucking mech? And then you make an overpowered mech with very little challenges. I watched this a while ago, so I can't really recall a lot of it. I definitely would give it a 6.8 to a 7. Character design is good, story's weak, the plot's weak. You're just watching it for its design, its beauty of its being hand drawn. Yeah, that's it. Log Horizon is another Sword Art Online competitor. First season was amazing, second season was terrible. I think they completely forgot the story and made a whole different story out of it. It's like two different animes in that aspect. Like, it's weird. Like, for in this case, um, people from the game get stuck in the game. They stay there. It becomes reality. They don't know, and I don't think it's ever announced if they were stuck, as in like how Sword Art Online is, where their bodies are in a coma, or if their bodies are completely pulled into the game, where their consciousness goes in there and their body dies in the other world. Either way, very little. Originally, it was like they're just trying to maintain order among each other, and then it just like splits off. And this is where it starts becoming very fucking annoying. And this is one thing that it's an instant turn off. No matter if the anime was good, if this is done over and over and over again, I am going to utterly just delete it from my watch history and pray to God I forget it in my mind. Usually which don't. Feline fucking characters. If I hear nya or meow more than 3 times per episode, I will utterly cut your throat. It is so goddamn annoying when a grown ass man wants to meow, 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 or nya every other word. I will utterly destroy you. Whoever thought this would be funny is annoying as fuck, and there's a reason why you're single. Besides of that, story on the second season is half baked. Character plot, character design is good. Personalities are very limited. They need to work on that. They need to really develop these characters. I never seen this one. I didn't even know this was even out. So I'll definitely check this out. But it looks like it's a whole different anime design, which I don't like when you do this. And then this is a whole different design. I'll check it out. This one I haven't watched. I don't do slice of life, and usually when a female is a villainess, it's not necessary you being a villain. Um, it's very weak. Characters are weak. Personalities are not there. I'll tell you that right now just by the looks of this. This is every character looks beautiful. Everything's sparkly. This is a princess romance drama from what I look, and I'm not very far off. Comedy, I'm not going to see it being funny. Um, when it's a female main character, it's very limited on comedy. Just because all the tee hee hee all around you just kind of like whitewash the board on that. I'll definitely give this, like, I'm not even going to watch it, so I'm not even going to rate it. You decide if this is a 7.5 if you want to watch something like that. Shujos are very hit and miss. More miss than hits. Moving on, No Game, No Life. This is a sibling complex. Uh, the art design is beautiful. It's a very steady flow of beautiful colors. Um, they did a very wonderful job on this. You should be very proud of yourself. The story makes no sense. I'm so utterly confused. They had to go, and it's just like completely changed. Like, I'm confused. I haven't seen all of it. I kind of like stopped. I don't even think I started season 2. Um, it's very confusing. They jump all over the place. Story wise, and it's been a minute since I watched this because I binge watched it all at once. Um, I'll definitely give this a 8. Definitely an 8, not 8.2. Only because there's not fan service. Um, if it was an 18 plus, I would add a thriller to this and add more gore and suffering, and it'll probably be a 8.5. but it's not. I give it an 8. I definitely would recommend watching it. Season 2, I would say watch it just because there's no point watching one season and not all of it. This one, haven't watched, won't watch. There's so many Nobunaga stories and remakes, and not of the same company either. It's just 10 different people having their own view of Nobunaga. Guy's a monster, a man's demon king, man's like a hero. It really comes down to your perspective. With this being 7.6, I'm not going to watch it. It is a decision you had to decide. This one, 8.5. I don't know if it's a lot of fan service or not. I watched some of it. I do have it on my watch list. I think. Plan to watch. No, it was on my watch list. I might have forgot it. I can't say much about it, but I'll probably say it would definitely be like a 6 point. I'm not a 7.6. Most of these people's decisions on ranking is very well done. Um, so I definitely will trust it. It definitely would be an art style that I would watch. It looks like it's a post-apocalyptic, just two characters focusing on survival and struggling. Um, yeah, go figure. Everyone with passion with kendo. I mean, it is what it is. Got Americans with football. Um, yeah, I definitely would recommend watching this. Even sci-fi military izagis are usually pretty fun to watch, even though stories tend to be weak. Just because I like military, I like Isekai and sci-fi. They should have had a thriller and more gore. Outbreak Company had semi-potential. Characters are whitewashed, story is weak, plot is weak. Character design is beautiful. The artwork is beautiful. I give it a 7. And I'm not far off. I watched this and I forgot about it. And I think I only watched it for the boobies. And I'm not gonna hit around the bushes. I think that was just literally the reason. A lot of the issues is these characters are very poorly designed, not by artwork, but by plot and story. There's very limited personality. Like, you tell me the difference between her and her, I won't be able to tell the difference. Tell me the differences between her and this chick right here that you can't even see, I won't know the difference. That could be a guy for all I know. I think that is a guy. So yeah, it's like a male and female version of the same thing. Anyways, going on to one of the top 5 favorites of mine, Overlord, 8.5 out of 10. First season was amazing. Second season was better. Third season started to plateau. Like, it started to just get like 8, 8.5, a little bit less than 8.5. The reason why I say that is it's reducing character time for the side characters. Like, the secondaries are less. This is one of the ones where I call it conquest. Like I mentioned before, conquest is when a character goes from nothing to everything. Not necessarily power wise, but achievements and goals. One thing that I have in some of my novels is that you come in by yourself or a small group of loyal subjects and you start taking over stuff. I always liked the grind of conquering a nation. Going from nothing but yourself to a village, to a town, to a city, to a nation. And then from there, just like working and taking over the world. That is the goal, I think. But they vary, like, it's so sparse. Like, it's so spread out with its characters. Like, the characters that he face and fight, the fights are somewhat slow in explanation and fast in action. Like, it was too quick in that way. Like, the fight don't last long, but the explanation of the spell takes fucking years. Um, yeah, they need to do a little Dragon Ball Z concept on that and remove 10 minutes of talking for 10 minutes of fighting. Um, I think that's what the movie outshined all of this. I'm going to say that right now. The most recent movie, because I think there's two. I think one's just like not the parody, but I think one is just like a movie of all these in one. I think it's just all the episodes put into one. Um, but yeah, it's definitely worth watching. I think it was like a reminiscence, like their recap. I think that movie was a recap. Um, but it's definitely beautiful, beautifully done. Character development was strong. You actually knew the differences between each side character, but where it fails is it has CGI creatures, monsters, and animals. Do not, in any circumstance, put CGI in hand drawn anime. You ruin the theme, the motion, and you put them in a hollow shell of a body that doesn't express and it has no emotions. Even the CGIs, that's all CGI, fall in the same failures. The flaws are the same. It is slow, lifeless emotions. And even the bodies are stiff and the frames are weird. The frames of the CGI is different than the frames of the drawing. And that's what makes it worse. Um, Outside of that, well done. You did good. I watched it probably 3 times each, and I'll probably watch it again just because I like conquest style Isekai. Going to the next page. This I watched, and I'll be honest, it was cause the boob. Um, Good proportioned body, not overly. Well, I should say in a lot of the frames, it's proportionate to the body. Other frames are overexpressed, and the boobs went from like a C cup to J, and that's what I really hate. I hate how they just overexpress the breasts. Um, you know me, I don't like how harems go from each spectrum. Like there's a favorite of each style. Like, oh, I like lollies, and I like women with flat chest, and I like mature young women, and I like mature bodied young, you know, young personality women. They each of the harems are a slice of a person's taste. And I can understand that, and I definitely would probably fall under the same thing where each type of attractiveness, either it's the boob or the butt or the hair or the looks or the behavior, yeah, I can see that. You don't want to have all the same, just different looks. Uh, Character's weak. Like most harems, the man never takes advantage of the relationship. Girls are always head over heels with the character. Not in this one. This one, she's a straight up airhead. All most big boobed girls are airheads. And I hate it because it's just stereotypical. I hate stereotypical designs and behaviors. And harems always have the cute tootsie lolly or the big bimbo dumb broad. Yeah, it is anime, but I have a standard, and that's why this is a 7 out of 10, and I'm not wrong. Um, it's worth watching if you're an incel or a degenerate, um, or you like a little slice of life, or you're a younger audience. like most that have attractive characters, they should be 18 plus because then they're not limited to the audience. You just make what you want, like how Goblin Slayer was. But even Goblin Slayer was limited with its own actions. That one touched the gray line, like it walked it. Um, Problem Children, I haven't watched this. This looks very weak story plot wise, and it even shows it. Um, Trust me, there's a huge difference between a 7 and an 8, and a lot of this, teenagers that go to another world with psychic powers, changing the world, or whatever, teenage rebellion, they want to do what they want to do. Sure, fine, not my cup of tea. Kids who have overpowered abilities, they like one of the animes. I forgot what it was. Elite high school students or whatever, the lead of the elite, whatever the name of it is. Um, they were like overpowered plus geniuses, like outrageous geniuses, and I there's no way in the world a teenager will be able to make a ICBM and know how one is made and know what information is classified. Other than nonetheless have the ability to make that. You need to have a factory to make a factory to make a tool that requires another factory to make another tool to create what you need. Hardware, software, integrated GPS, all that. They don't have it. Somehow they made it. It's terrible. Anyways, back to this one. It's trash. I don't recommend it unless you're a younger generation. Moving on. ReZero. One of my top five. First season was astoundingly good. This is first of its own where the character dies and gets revived back. I don't know how long back in the past, but at some time he dies. He comes back with the same memories, the feel of the pain, but he's completely fine. It's just a psycho thriller aspect to that. Psychological. Definitely that. Um, Very weird. I have a hots for this white haired chick. Um, Usually white hair, pink hair, redheads are my favorites. Dark pink, not that pink. I should say purple. It's started to do a roller coaster. Um, some scenes are dragged out too much to the point where it feels like it's a filler. Like I said before, fillers are bad because that means when they do a filler, they don't know or they haven't achieved the story for the next one. Like, you write a book, you're finished. That's all you have to do. Everyone else is doing the artwork, doing the scripts, doing the design, doing the marketing. It gives you time. It gives you the moment to take a break and then move on. If you have a goal of making 3 seasons, a trilogy, you already know what you want for each one. You have the plot and the subplot that moves into the second one. Uh, Showings are exempt of this because each season is its own adversary, struggles and everything. You can still, man, the hiccups. It can still go through the same plot, but look at Naruto, look at Bleach, look at Dragon Ball Z. There's always something new, and there's seasons to it. Dragon Ball Z had no storyline. It was just originally people chasing the Dragon Ball and character development. That's all it was. Bleach was a guy who went and learned his abilities to learn his ancestry of who his parents are and just went from there. Like, there was very limited story to each one, and it was always one objective: to stop one individual or group of individuals. After that, it was done. It was back to fillers. They're notorious for that. Anyways, ReZero. Artwork's amazing. The plot for season 1 was amazing. Season 2, very fucking confusing. They jump around a lot, and I don't like that. And one of the biggest pet peeves, and this is where I start explaining and emphasizing, I'm not going to force it, but I'm going to try to explain it to someone who's been here since the 80s. I don't like gender benders, and I don't like traps, and I don't like animes with gay main characters. Um, I don't hate gays, lesbians, transgenders, none of that. It is just not something I want in my anime. I also don't believe a person needs to enforce their beliefs or their standards on me. The moment a person forces their beliefs, their morals, their standards on me, I become violent. I don't shut down. I become violent because I do not believe a person should be forced to understand why a person is gay or why they hate people who are not gay. When it comes down to a lot of this stuff, it is very mixed signals, and it's a lot of it really comes down to like and it's more modern generations that expressing it isn't enough. That like, look at me, I'm gay. It's like, good for you. If you feel proud to be who you are, good for you. But I do not need to know, and I already know. I have gaydar. I know if you're gay. I know if you're a lesbian. A little bit less because I'm just more preoccupied on making sure that I'm not falling for a trap, and I'm not falling into a trap. This ReZero, this person right here, this feline one that also remind you I hate nyas and meows, and this falls under that aspect. Also add to the fucking thing that it's a trap. It is a guy that dresses in girl's clothes, and I think he's heterosexual. I think he's straight. He just likes to wear girl clothes. Good for you. I don't like it. Thankfully, he's not in every fucking episode, or I would probably have stopped watching it. Just because my morals and my beliefs are different. Also, what do you call it? Has me deviating from some animes. There were some that were so beautiful, so well done, but then the character becomes transsexual, or there's gender benders that's in each episode, and it is against my beliefs. And although I know the anime is good, and I give pats on the back for everyone who worked on it, it is not my cup of tea. I just move on. I don't degrade the person, but I'm definitely going to express I don't like it. I don't like traps. This one right here, same ordeal. I'll get to it when I get to it. Outside of that, season 2 is confusing. Season 3 came out or is coming out this year. The movie was good. Definitely kind of a plot twist, and it fails in a lot of aspects. It is not a harem, actually, believe it or not. Some girl crushes, that's about it. Worth watching. 8 out of 10. This, I don't watch. I don't watch food wars, restaurants to another world. I'm not into the food stuff because I'm always wanting to be fucking eating Chinese. I end up going broke, and that's basically it. This looks like a little slice of life comedy. Uh, Definitely something you guys should probably watch if you like the light-hearted stuff. That's about it. Um, Real Rainbow Gate. I'm confused. I think this was like a hentai, or just fan service that failed to meet it. Didn't watch it. The character designs look beautiful, but a lot of this stuff they insinuate the beauty and sexual innuendo and lose out on the story. And I think this is where it falls into that same line because each card that she holds looks like just cute girls. I think this is all female story. Um, Going on. This is the second season. Beautiful. Going on. Didn't watch this. I don't watch chibis. I don't watch parodies, and I don't watch child anime. When I say child anime, I mean main characters being children. Because the maturity level is just not there. It's like me trying to watch kid cartoons. I'm not going to watch Dora the Explorer. I'm sorry, but that's just me. Moving on. Another one falls under the same transit of what I explained before, going towards it. This anime was beautifully done. Design was beautiful. It's psychological military style. Um, but one thing that really just, I think it's what stopped me from finishing all this is this girl right here. Previous life was a guy. You got gender bender. You got bodies swapped. You're going from a guy to a chick, and it's just unethical and doesn't need to be done. If it does, it definitely should say on here gender bender or trap or something to warn the person who's about to go and get therapy. But it's good. I give it an 8 out of 10. It's worth watching. It's just not my cup of tea when it comes to the main characters. Not preference, but how they were viewed as. And another thing that I hate about Isekais is that they don't express enough of their past. This one expresses a little bit more, but there's no reminiscing. There's no, oh, I failed on this. I'm definitely not going to fail this time. Uh, Thought to it. Moving on, Steins Gate. Good. 8 out of 10. Definitely even shows it's a 8.5 for Zero. I think this is a prequel to this one. Just because this was 2011, this is 2020, no, this is 2018. I don't know for sure. But either way, it's definitely worth watching. It's a thriller, mind-bending. It's games. The losers die, the winners survive ordeal. Um, Very fun, very good. Definitely get snacks and watch it. The design is good. Every anime's design is well done. It's just, you know, it's how it goes about. As long as it's hand drawn and not CGI'd, it's all for it. Moving on, Sword Art Online. I'm gonna add it all together and say it is a 7. First season was an 8. First season did it well. I didn't see out. It's weird ass name. This, but I'll put this into the same as season 2. I totally forgot what season 2's name was. Season 1 for Sword Art Online was a game just got released. Everyone got inside. There was a big audience to introduce the game as its opening, and then everyone got stuck. People would try to log out, couldn't. Dudes that played as females changed to actually show their actual gender. So a cute chick ended up being a guy, old hairy guy, which is really funny. Um, so if you were a guy, you're a guy. If you're a girl, you're a girl. And the first season had its story. The second one was elves. It was kind of weird. It had some bittersweet spots to it. Um, it was still enjoyable, worth watching. This one, people say was better, but the ranking's the same. So it's another one that you could watch, enjoy, but the stories are different. It's like they're in an alternate universe, kind of like how dang, what was that anime? It keeps on like each one is different, kind of like uh High School DxD has its own fucking versions. None of them are the same. Anyways, moving on. Steins Gate, same thing. I think this is season one. Um, Beautifully well done. Good job. Next one. Another one that touches on things that I don't appreciate in my standards and anime that I like to watch. Yes, I have the option of deciding to watch it or not, and I made that decision to watch it. I watched all of it, from episode 1 to its most recent one. This is actually one of my top 5, believe it or not, because it falls in Conquest. It has a character that had nothing, and he became something, and he took over a nation. Well, actually, he created a nation, um, and had its views and personality to it. Each character was its own. They had separate personalities, though they should have focused on the struggles and the sacrifice that they made. I believe each character needed to have more suffering towards how they were developed. Um, Also, the fights were good, but too quick. It's always too quick. There's always too much explanation about a spell before doing the spell. The MC became too overpowered where instead of unlocking things, it became upgrades to things to make excuses to do things, and there's no limitation to it. Makes him omnipotent from a slime's standpoint. I think the story for this one was the guy gets stabbed saving his junior, and he gets reincarnated as a slime, stuck in the cave where there's actually like a uh, cataclysmic creature that was sealed away. They do all their little plot thing. He moves out. He saves a village of goblins, and how the world is when a powerful creature, intelligent creature, gives a name to a semi-intelligent or non-intelligent creature, they evolve, and I like it because it develops characters. They become basic bitches to hot bitches. In that standpoint, um, it definitely was all over the place though. It was too much of this, too much of that, hopping around. There wasn't a steady flow. The story wasn't steady. The people that they faced are far between. Even his lieutenants were like overpowered, and there wasn't much competition for them. It was just like, oh well, here's these bad people. We'll deal with them when we do, and it comes up and it's quick, and there's no real fights. Um, the part that I hate is he is a trap. He, since he's a slime, he can form into anyone. He can mimic, and he mimics a girl. He mimics this girl that he's holding, and he has a female body that he goes into, and then he has a asexual body. Uh, Story-wise, this character is an adult in his old world. He was middle-aged salaryman, just like every other isekai. Um, and then he comes in here. He's heterosexual, but he goes into being asexual, or he goes into a woman's body when he sees fit, when he wants to hide. I'm sorry, but I'm going to still be a guy. I'm not going to turn into a girl because I'm going to end up touching myself and it'll feel gay. Like, you're molesting yourself. Like, it becomes questionable. And this brings up another topic I'm going to briefly touch on is I don't like these in animes that's not 18 plus. When I say 18 plus, I mean it's going to limit people who actually get uh, parental view. Like, oh mom, can I watch this? Yeah, go ahead. Let me first quickly read on this to make sure it's suitable for you. Parents don't do that no more. I bet you every single person watching anime, the parents who never watched it will probably assume this. People who have, they're going to be questioning what you're watching. This one is this can easily affect younger generations that's very influential, that gets easily influenced, beliefs and everything. Definitely people who relate to these characters the closest. Um, Children who had harsh backgrounds and escaped through anime and video games are going to relate to these more than others. Um, Maybe it could be a means for them to understand themselves, but it is something that they need to develop through real life and not through an anime or a video game. If anime is all about queers and lesbians and transgenders and it's 18 plus, that's different. But when you don't have that 18 plus, when it's E for everyone, when it's for all audiences, and they start putting political aspects, idealism, and gendered standards, you're going to start distorting that viewer's perspective. You're going to influence the way they think and how they should think. And I've touched bases on an old video about this, about a Riot, the game that got bought out by Tencent, because I don't like Tencent's monopolizing the gaming industry. But you lose identity and personality. Like, you lose who you are to be something that you think everyone would like. You become a joker. You become a hollow shell of who you were or who you should be. And that's a decision you and only you can make. And having outside influences like these animes in the incorrect way, instead of inspiring to achieve goals and be like, oh, I want to be like this, so I'm going to work harder, I'm going to study harder, I'm going to go and achieve what I need to get this. Instead, this is becoming sexualized and gender based. And this is where I don't believe in that. And this is just my thoughts on this. Um, there's no wrong or right way, but I believe that a child should stay a child, and if they're born a boy, they will decide if they feel like they want to have a transition, and not while a child. You may have to suffer, you may have to deal with it, but until you move out and you pay for your own surgeries, you shouldn't have a parent saying, oh yeah, my 5-year-old is gay and he's happy or she's happy. No. A parent who does that should not be a parent. And I don't care if it hurts your feelings or not. If you go and force your ideology on a child, shame on you, and you shouldn't be a parent. But outside of that, That's the only critique I have on this. I don't believe in gender benders, and if it's and it needs to be labeled. It should have gender bender on here. Hentais, they got them on there. Here, they don't, which is very weird. Um, Going on, next season was good. It started becoming sparse in action. It's more plot driven, but it jumps all over the place, and there's no foreshadowing, which kind of sucks. It's like they have a goal, they take over it, but there's a lot of no foreshadowing. Like, okay, these are some of the issues that we're going to have to deal with. What are the things we had to do? There is none of that. It's just like, oh, well, this is happening, but we already had this prepared. It's like they jumped the story. And Bishop uh, Oda, Oba Nobuna. This is actually Nobunaga. Um, Another gender bender, but in the historical aspect, Nobunaga is a male, um, and they portray as a female. I think they even announced it on there or whatever. I think I got into the third episode when I gave up, only due to that. Plot driven was well done. Art style was beautiful. Characters were beautiful. But like I said, I have standards and I don't compromise on my beliefs. Moving on, Shield Hero. Um, I loved it. It was 8.5 out of 10. Um, on first season, second season, it started dwindling down. I think third season already came out, or it's coming out. It was approved for it, I think. Um, it is a harem, and it doesn't show it's a harem. Um, I think no, it's definitely not a harem, because it doesn't have. Well, it's becoming a harem, I should say. I will not be surprised if the third season says harem. Um, One of the ones where I hate where the character had, just like the other anime that I was just mentioning about the alchemist who struggled, who suffered, who persevered, and then now his magic makes no sense. After explaining it, his shield absorbs elements and spells, I believe, and minerals, and it evolves after consuming enough of it, and it becomes a better means. Basically, you're getting resistance to like lightning, fire, water, earth, whatever elements, um, and then it becomes offensive. Their shields can be offensive, but it's primarily to block and deflect. And now his shield has body armor, and it's all offensive, or he becomes raged like, and it's just like it becomes expressed and overly uh, exaggerated. I don't like it. It is a very cute, characterized females that follow him. Like this one, cute. I think it's like father-daughter aspect because she's young, obviously. This chick, the raccoon chick, hot. Very cute in the beginning. Demi-humans on this anime. Um, and until you get into a certain power point, you like your ranking and your level, they look childlike, cute, young, innocent looking, although they're not innocent. They could be victims or victimizers. Once they hit a certain stage, it's like they hit puberty. They just grow. Um, and it was pretty, it was cute and funny at the same time. I think episode 2 and 3 comes to her point of all that. Um, they could have pushed some of that, like extended the story and the people and work on the characters more in depth. Because when new characters come in on second season, it's like, a whole lot, and then you lose a lot on the personality and character development on those new characters because everything's just coming in too fast. It's forced, and that's where they start falling off on it. The one thing that I don't like on this, and this is personal preference from previous trauma in real life, is how snaky some of these characters are. Like, betrayal is too overly expressed to give that feeling of betrayal. I know they were trying to target the people to feel these emotions, but being a person of trauma from betrayal really impacts me. Um, well, FYI, I had an opportunity of having a very successful life. Um, I won't lie, I could be a person who made six-digit figure right now, but I don't. Um, because of betrayal and people being snakes and stealing credit that I've achieved to gain their own personal goal, and then abandonment. Um, that's what I hate. I have a tendency, and I have done this on this anime, although I don't regret it, but I hate it, is I skipped parts. Like, if they have a whole episode, and you'll always know if it's going to be based on the episode or a half of the episode on the aspect, the story of this, I'll skip it. I think I skipped out on 15, 30 minutes of it, like a whole episode out of all this. Not the princess, but on other aspects of betrayal. I just don't like it. I hate having betrayals in that form. Like, I want to see it happen. I want easy to read cues, not snaky behaviors that remind me of what happened in my previous. Anyways, it was an 8. First one was an 8.5. This one's second season's an 8. It became too spread out, too exaggerated, too weird on how it was originally done to how it is now. Like, they were fighting waves, what's called waves, of dimensional creatures that come in to try and invade and take over the world, to something completely different. Like, there is no more waves. Um, Going on, the vision of Escaflowne. There is a movie of Escaflowne, and then you have the series, which is based off. The movie is based off of. I watched the movie. I didn't watch all of this. I will say it's a 8. 7.7 is not enough. It should also be 18 plus. This is one of those times when fantasy with um yeah, it didn't have military. When fantasy and mecha were good and proportionate with itself. Um, he had adversaries who always had a fight. This is not the main character. She is. She's a high school girl who got sucked into another world. And they like love-hate relationship. Like, he annoys the hell out of her, she annoys the hell out of him, but they persevere and they push forward, push aside their feelings, and accomplish what needed to be done to survive. Very well done. It's an older anime. It's beautiful. I definitely recommend you watching it. Going on, Devil Part-Timer is a gacha. A gacha as in, if you watched a little clip of their action, you think that's all that you're going to have throughout all these episodes? You don't. I think it's like literal 1 or 2 times that they fight. And it's super quick. There's no like overpowered whatever. It's just very fast. I didn't watch it all, so there could have been some action to it, but it's more wholesome in Life of Life. Um, I give it a 7, and it's not too far off. Inuyasha's the same thing. Movies fall under the same category. No Game No Life. Same thing. I think this is the second season. Well, actually, no, this is the movie. Um, Movie was pretty fun, but a lot of lollies and kind of weird. Like, I hate having childlike characters be mature and fighting, and like there's an imbalance. Like, it's a whole bunch of lollies fighting, and like, where's all the mature women? Steins Gate, the movie, haven't watched it, but I would recommend it just because if the seasons are good, I mean the series is good, the movie should be good too. And it shows it's an 8.5, so it's definitely recommended. This one is a psycho thriller. I haven't watched it. Um, Superpower thriller. Isekai. They should have Supernatural. That would have made this better. That probably would have made it 8. Um, yeah, I haven't watched it, but it could be one of those ones you might enjoy. It's a older one. You can always tell by the designs, but yeah, haven't watched it. I'll probably not. The Boy and the Beast, good. I haven't watched it, but it has good artwork, the same type that I would like. Kind of reminds me of Ghibli on how a lot of this is, and it looks like it's something that I wouldn't mind watching. It's a movie. I've had a tendency of avoiding movies because I want to watch something that lasts, but it might be something I will watch. It's definitely an 8, so a child of a beast. So yeah, I'll probably end up watching this. Um, Sword Art Online, the movie, haven't watched the movie, but it would fall into the same category. This is all gang related groups fighting. I haven't watched it, but it looks like it's a good one. But then it tells you it's a 6.7, so I probably won't watch it. Um, like I said, the viewers' ranking system is pretty top notch when it comes down to that. Fruit of Evolution. This had opportunity. This dropped, and characters are all fucking stupid. You got a lolly, you have a cat lolly, you have another lolly, you got another lolly, and then you have three bimbos. So you got three lollies, three bimbos. This was a goat. Um, Weird. She was an ape. Everyone else was actually who they are. Um, the main character is a boy who was fat, who was bullied. His school got teleported into this world. Everyone has amazing abilities, but he had none. He couldn't keep up with the class. He got abandoned. He was hungry, starving. He ate a fruit, was ended up being known as a fruit of evolution, and apparently was super rare, but was all over the place where he was at, where he just kept on gaining uh, tidbits of power. Somehow he fought a gorilla, a female gorilla, who was apparently in heat. He beat her. She became submissive. She transformed into a human, and it's really weird. It's not very understandable. I totally have a hots for this one. Um, but it's like that's where it stops. The story crashed. Um, the plot crashed. The character development is weak and stereotypical, just like everything else. It just big bimbles who's stupid, big bimbo who acts like a high schooler who was actually a donkey, so they shouldn't even have the ability to speak or have intellectual conversations, but it being their world, you accept it for what it is. This girl has a crush on the main character. He's married to her and her and her, and I think her and her. It's a harem. Um, it not saying harem is a big like what the fuck, because it is. They all have a crush on him. I did watch it all. I gave it a 7. it's not available. I think this is another season. Um, but yeah, uh, artwork is good. Characters are beautiful. That's it. The world's finest assassin. It was an old butler who was an assassin who died by a ICBM. Um, the only way apparently they claims due to betrayal, like he he became useless. Like he was used until he became the threat to the organization, and they killed him. In this one, and I liked it, and I enjoyed it. Characters had their own development. Um, it's very authoritarian aspect of discipline and responsibilities and expectations, which is completely fine. I definitely would fall under the same category with this main character in that aspect. If I had more self-control, it would have been a carbon copy of who he is, but I don't have the control when I have a harem. And this one fails to show that, but there's romance, but it's like a love triangle. She does have feelings, but she accepts he doesn't, and she'll just work for him like a fucking slave. And that's the only thing I don't like. I definitely would be handsy with all three. Um, but outside of that, yeah, you know, I'm a degenerate. He's not. The adult world, of his old life did follow through with his. Um, but there's very limited reminiscence of his old days to now. Like, oh, back in my old life, a lot of the isekais don't say, oh yeah, I was reincarnated, unless it was literally like the person pulled you into that. So, I give this a 8 out of 10. It's not too far off on their expectations. It was one season. If they made two seasons, they do have uh, a plot to work with. If they do, this character is totally hot. She's hot too. But yeah. So only issue is like they're ensnared for this person. Like she's a subservient, and she's a princess who loves him, he loves her, and it's weird because it's like this, uh, I love you, but we're in war ordeal, we can't do it, and the indecisiveness isn't something that I have issues with. Like, I know what I want, and I'll take what I want. This person is very indecisive. Um, Outside that, it's good. Um, Dungeon of Black Company is funny. It is entertaining, and uh, that's what you should take in this. You got a money grubby guy who gets stuck in not slavery but indigent servitude. He's like, oh well, if you make enough, you'll be able to free yourself. Mining this, that, whatever. Um, Character development for the main character is well done. The others starting somewhat whitewashed with the stereotypical Isekai characters. I really hate, and this is the issue that we have. Like this, all these characters are their own. I can tell you that right now with just how they have this stuff, the concept, but also it's also a movie, so you can't put movies to series because there's a limitation and there's a way you go about um, initiating that stuff. But it's definitely a watch. It's I would give it an 8 just for the entertainment value of it. Um, so enjoy it. Grab some Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, whatever, some chips and dip, and enjoy. Skeleton Knight in Another World. I watched it all. I enjoyed it. It is a guy who made an avatar because this is video game based, and his avatar was a skeleton. and it took his character into this world. The world is not related to his character. For the most part, I think it's like lightly based in that world. Um, but it's like very limited. Like he doesn't like, oh, well, I know locations and all that, but these points in time are not where they would be. Not like how, what's another anime? I forgot what it was, but like there's situations where like you would know based in the game, like how not to summon Demon Lord. He refers to the game, even with Overlord, they refer to events in the game and the important characters, the NPCs. Um, this one doesn't have it. That's what's removed from it. It's fine. It's alright. It's definitely worth watching. I give it a 7.8. The downfall is the guy's indecisive. I don't know why it's 18 plus because there's no nudity. There's very minimum gore. I mean, still shows people getting cut in half, but outside of that, definitely worth having a second season. But it needs more action, more hardship too. But it's definitely good. I definitely portray for the main character on this. I have my dark times, my no nonsense times, and this is the entertainment time. Um, which I would say the Demon Lord, how not to summon Demon Lord, be more my entertainment value. This would be my like the more of good night ordeal. But outside of that, I'd definitely be handsy with this one. Moving on, because I didn't watch that other one. I think Slime Story. Yeah, I don't know nothing about this. This looks like a child's anime, not rated. Um, yeah, showing slice of life. Yeah, no. Moving on. Konosaba, same thing. Um, I forgot her name, but Megumin's sister. Hot. Wait, is that the? It's supposed to be the older one. Well, she's the oldest, but it's the middle child. Anyways, same thing. Enjoyable. This is a movie, whatever. It should be 18 plus with uncensorship part. That's just me. Um, this one, like I said before, if an anime requires a fucking sentence to give as a title, you're doing something wrong. This one, I actually enjoyed. Um, he has ability to communicate with animals, tame them, um, using powers and manipulate his powers through his minions. Really good, really good storyline. Definitely something I would do. Um, it had a lot more promise towards falling under conquest, but he doesn't. He just wants to be a person that goes through resolving issues as he passes by townships. Uh, like I said, it had possibilities. It's still good. I give it an 8 out of 10. Let's get back on this one. It's not available, which is very confusing because it was great. I hope there's a season 2. Uh, yeah, like if you think of Sage, power, working with the elements, animals, though the wolf thing could be a little bit more dangerous, I guess, because it's like a um, big red, the cowardly dog mentality. But still, nothing that breaks it. Character development, you instantly know how he is from episode 1. It doesn't change, which kind of sucks because that reduces the development. But it is what it is. Uh, Next one, Harem and Lambert in Another World. Um, there's 2 versions, censored and uncensored. Uh, it had great, great potential until the freaking end. So only one season, uncensored. It just shows the titties and censored. Watch this. If you're gonna watch something that literally says harem, and it's 18 plus on both, just watch the uncensored. Unless you got parents watching over you. Um, Character development is so important that they literally put 10 of the 12 episodes in character development. Um, no one's overpowered. They work from nothing to something, and then from there, and then many humans are slaves. So he becomes a slave owner, but they love him. So it's like one of those things where like, oh yeah, well, you're my slave, but since you love me, ways ordeal. Um, there is a sex scene, multiple in multiple episodes, mainly with her. There's one with her. Apparently, she's a dwarf, but she looks like an elf. Um, and that's it. The last, the 11th episode gives more of his success. Like, this is where I'm going. This is where we're going. The last episode, and I wish they just made a second season and just, bite the bullet on budget and finish it properly. Because if you're going to spend 10 fucking episodes just on her, just on development and relationship, that means you should get the same for her and her and her and her and all the other ones that's not showing in here. I think he has like 6, 4, 5. Yeah, he's missing one more. Um, but it doesn't. And what happens? And they personality, her and him, completely flushed out. Good. Her is very questionable story because there's like very little. It's like, oh my god, these guys are strong. They work so cohesively together. I have a chance in life, this, that, whatever. I think I'm falling in love with him. I'm 300 years old, but I got a body of a fucking 12-year-old. That bullshit. But these 3 bitches and the other ones, all that in 30 minutes. From character development, which is absolutely zero, to that's it. Like, literally, I think they get each one of them like 3 minutes of screen time. And then he fucks all of them, and that's it. Like, literally, the fucking on all of them is the closing subtitles. Like, subtitles are going as they're, like, fucking. So, I give this a strong 7. At the strongest. Like, the first 10 episodes, an 8. Because of the last 2 episodes, it just dropped down a whole number to a 7. And that's being kind. Because the very last episode, they could have saved it and salvaged it. Like, they meet these 3 at the same time for some whatever situation, and gives hope and promise for the second season, which will help build these 3. They already have these 2 her developed. Flush her out more, and then work on these 3, and you're good. You get to fuck, you get to fight, and you get to fuck some more. But you don't. This is definitely for the degenerate, the incels, but don't expect to see a lot of fucking with these 3. It's just like a boob, and that's it. And that boob is very quick, like 1 frame. So you better be doing some pausing. Moving on. Black Summoner had great potential. Dude's a bitch. The dude is absolutely feminized, cocky, ugly. The person who designed this character rushed it. He preoccupied on the women and then forgot about him and oh shit, I need to draw something. I'll make him look like a little bitch, and that's practically it. I give this a 7. The story had opportunity. He was overpowered from day one. There was no struggle. There was no sacrifice. It was just quick in and out. Didn't take advantage of the women as he should have. It was a harem, or I should say a love triangle. I think it requires more than 3 girls to fall for him. Anyways, it had potentials. The fighting was good. The story was okay. The character development was very basic, mid tier. I give this a 7 out of 10. Parallel World Pharmacy had great potential too. It's slice of life, wholesome, and minimum action. It's more based on a pharmacist who was a pharmacist in his old day. Well, actually, he was a doctor. He became a pharmacy. He is a doctor. Um, she was his senior slash tutor. She became paranoid and all that when she finds out that he had abilities from a god. Um, she's a straight up boy crush, girl crush, whatever bullshit you want to say. She wanted to fantasize about him, which makes things a little weird because she's young and like children at that time should even have those thoughts, but they put it on her anyways. So you can tell that the person is an incel. The person that created the characters is an incel. Outside of that, I give this a 7.5 out of 10. It's worth watching if you want that slice of life fantasy. Overlord, I guess it did have a 4th season. Yeah, it should have a 5th coming out. They already did the movie last year. The movie rocked. A 9 out of 10, only because it didn't have boobies, or it would have been 10. That's it. Like I said, I don't do parodies, so I'm not even gonna bother with that. Sword Art Online, this is the original. It had good potential. It is a 8. It worked and it did everything it needed. It reminded me of the original dot hack sign. It had everything it needed, except for boobies. But you know, you get what you get. Like I think her were like the cutest. She was the generic basic bitch look. Character development, they took time, which is what was needed. Just like any base games, you need to flush out those characters before you really get into that world plot. Sword Art Online 2 was the gun gale. Instead of swords, it was guns. There was no magic, it was just abilities. It was skill based, just like this, but guns and talent. Um, it had some good scenes in it, but it kind of like became a blanket across like the first 5 episodes is going to be the same as the last episodes. It lacked spunk, I guess you would say. Character development was really weird. Like it was there, but it was like very limited on what they could have produced. Artwork and design was amazing. It is still worth watching, and you won't have a problem. This is a side story of Gun Gale. This is based on her and her group. It has nothing to do with the main character who's on the other ones. I haven't watched a lot. I think only 1 episode. But to be honest, I wouldn't be watching kids. And that's where it falls into. If it was a more adult, matured woman, I probably would. But cute kids with guns scare the fuck out of me. Anyways, the familiar of Zero F makes no sense. Like, I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't even know why they gave it so much. It has very weird tendencies. I don't even think I watched it all. Characters are very based. Plot is based. Yeah, I give it a Yeah, I give it a 7 at best. Like a 6.8. Um, yeah, it was really weird. Characters are all generic too. Everything's generic. They should have just had fan service and just call it good. Um, Same thing here. I don't watch mixed match of animes, chibis nonetheless. Reincarnated as a sword had great potential in the beginning, and then it just completely failed at the end. Um, this sword right here was a guy, um, fatherly figure who saves her by telepathy and all that bullshit. She develops, she gets skills, he unlocks more from killing creatures. They help level each other up and work as a group. Amazing, very wholesome. Um, Definitely at an 8. You definitely gonna like it for the wholesomeness. I don't watch this. I skip it. I didn't watch this. This is a lot of childish stuff. I think I did. Yeah, one might. Yeah, this is the one. Shit. Um, a buddy of mine forced me into watching the first season. I watched it, and my curiosity got the best of me just because it got goofy stuff. Um, I guess all due to the show and stuff. Boy is kidnapped into going to the demon world. He has to pretend to be a demon so he doesn't get eaten. All these kids who's in this demon school say, "Oh yeah, we gotta kill all humans. We gotta eat them. And humans are bad." But they never did any of that themselves, so they're just like uh, what do you call it, monogamy or something, where they just like they say whatever their parents say, and it's only like the older demons that actually know the struggle or whatever. When what was it, the Edo period or whatever in Japan, where the humans enslaved or beat the demons or excommunicated or whatever. That's what their fear built up on. Um, Definitely cute. Go ahead and watch it. I gave it a. I'm not really much into this style of schooling, but if it had fan service, I'd watch it. I give it an 8. Without the fan service, it brought it down to like a 7.8. It's worth watching still. Enjoy yourself. Have a lot of soda. Saving 80,000 gold. Haven't watched it. This sounds like it had potential. Um, but it's one of those wholesome fantasies where it's for the younger generation. So enjoy it. Minimum action. Um, by the grace of gods, no action. It's wholesome plus slice of life. Um, so that's all you're going to get on that. I watched both seasons, hoping that he would actually grow physically, because he was an adult in his old life, and they started out with him being a kid, but he only grew up like 5 years, and that's it. And they have what do you call it, a borderline Shota Lolly relationship in here, and it's kind of disturbing. Because they treat an 8-year-old as a fucking adult, even though he has powers and intelligence of an adult. Um, Still, rules still apply to everything, and the way they do it here, they allow the kids to do whatever the fuck they want. Oh yeah, you're an adult when you're 12 years old. No, fuck that shit. That just means you're a fucking pedophiler. Anyways, Handyman, this one right here, amazing. 8 out of 10. Of course, it could have done with fan service. You got a guy who doesn't have much for combat skill, but he's very handy, repairing, oiling stuff, and everything. He does learn some magic from a wizard who has dementia, which is pretty funny. So it got some comedy on that, and I'm right. I gave it an 8 out of 10. It's worth watching. Character development is spread out some, but it's still worth watching. This one just came out, I think, last year. I think it's 2 seasons now. Um, it's very good. I enjoy it. It's definitely something that I would have been the uncle, but I wouldn't be so deaf and blind to female prowess and opportunities. Totally the hottest one right here. Um, I definitely would have been an incel on this aspect. But he doesn't see when women flirt, which kind of sucks because, you know, you were a teenager when you fell into coma, but you were in another world. You wake up and you're an old guy, but you still have, the memories and everything of, what happened 10, 12, 13 years ago. Um, Still funny, beautiful, amazing, worth watching. Enjoy. This is season 2. This is that chick. The fruit evolution, that's the chick. Um, Guy, evil chick here, whatever. Look, I'm all about gender equality. I'm gonna fucking punch a bitch. Um, I don't think he really does that. It kind of sucks actually. Uh, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Story's weak. Action could have done better. He's too overpowered in some aspects and doesn't really have the side characters really pull their weight. The Eminence in Shadow is my number. It's my top 5. So you have Overlord, you have the Eminence in Shadow, you have the Slime. What was the other one? Solo Leveling, which is my number 1. Um, and you got another one, which we'll get to in a little bit. This one, I would say, is my number 2. Um, I definitely see myself as him, both intelligent, powerful, and manipulative. Like I can manipulate people to do things, not in real life, of course, but into my fantasy of being an Isekai world, I definitely would, and I would definitely take advantage. This is a harem and not a harem at the same time. All these girls fantasize about him. They follow him. They're subordinates of him. Um, and at the same time, he doesn't take advantage of any of them, which really fucking sucks. From his sister to all the other women that he practically raised and trained, he doesn't take advantage of them. There's no romance in this. It's just fantasy comedy and some action. Action is balanced but short. It's actually quite short in the first season. Second season, you would definitely see it. But he's overpowered from day one, but he improves. He gets stronger. That's what I like. Like, you shouldn't be omnipotent from day one and you're already plateaued. There should be an improvement to it. And this is. Season 2 was better. I give this an 8. Season 2, 8.5. If they had fan service, it would have made it better. If you took advantage of the women who offers themselves, it would have been even more amazing. It probably would have been a 9, but it doesn't. Moving on. And that this is the slime one. I think this is the most recent. No, it's in the movie. I don't even think I've seen this movie. This is about the orcs, I think. The Onis that they had on here. The whole story between them and their fighting on their faction. Really good. Actually, it's worth watching. Farming Life in Another World. It's wholesome slice of life. All the women are beautiful. It was a steady balance. I would give it an 8. It's enjoyable. and definitely would need action. It would be a week 8, only because slice of life I can only take so much. You need some horror, thriller, fan service, and boob touching. The Aristocrat, another one that had potential. The biggest downfall for these is that child characters don't grow. They stay child from season 1, season 2, season 3. Um, that's what I hate. They need to grow. They need to develop. They need to mature. They need to achieve. They need to fail. And the majority of these isekais fail. For that, I give this, yeah, I give this a 7. Um, yeah, and the character is just weird, very girly like. This is season 2? Yeah. Um, Same thing, it dropped. It dramatically dropped. It's a harem. And remember, it wasn't a harem in the first one, I think, and it became a harem. Uh, all these girls are his wife. Everything is perfect. Everything's splendid. He gets himself a little nation. He gets a baronhood. He gets some futuristic mecha stuff that they still don't even use yet. Uh, this is a robot. Everyone else is just girls, probably no older than 17. I think she's the oldest. Well, actually, technically, these two, because they're constructs. Um, yeah, it's weird, and he still doesn't take advantage of them. He's a bitch. That's really what he is. I watched this just for her. Yeah, I think that's it. Because she's the cutest one. She has whatever. I forgot. Like, this had so much potential for story, and they still kept with the storyline from season 1, but afterwards, it just, like, depleted. It just, like, went all over the place. Really weird. Um, this one, very cocky, very obnoxious behavior. This guy was summoned to this world for the second time. I gotten 3 episodes in and I got bored. Some action, too much overpowered cockiness. I give this a 6.5. Um, I don't watch romance. Definitely not this. I don't do romance. If it has military, fine, but it doesn't. So I skipped that. I probably give it a 7 and gave it a 7.5. How a realistic hero rebuilt the nation. Um, this is one of those what do you call it? Conquest. I did enjoy it. It was very limiting and very quick because I think it was only 1 season. Um, a lot of girls. It's a harem, and just like any other harem, all the girls want him. I think her and her are the only ones, but she got really big boobs. She is the only one, the exception to big boob, but still intelligent, because she's inside, she's a harlot. But anyways, it was good. And there's your lolly. Um, but it's expected. It's generic when it comes to personalities. It's all the same. It's just a different plot. That's all it is. Moving on, Monster Butt Wild. Didn't watch it. I don't watch child stuff. Moving on. I watched 5, 6 episodes of this. I was trying to finish it, but I got bored. It got comedy. Um, it she jerks him off right in the beginning. Like, he's unconscious. He was thrown over a cliff by his family in a barrel, like their belief worshiping her. She's a god. Um, and he wakes up, washed ashore, and she's, oh, well, he needs to wake up. What am I going to do? Remember when I said big boob bimbos? Yeah, that's a big boob bimbo. She jerked him off. But that was it. That was literally all they get. Like, I would definitely take advantage of everything everywhere afterwards. Is this 3 seasons? Yeah. I don't know if I would watch 3 seasons worth because they're all going to be the mediocre. The downfall with a lot of these childlike prodigies and everything, each season, they're still the same age. It's literally like from day 1 to day 7, and day 7.5 to whatever. It needs development. It needs characters to grow instead of just being stuck internally in acute phase. Uh, with that, I'll probably not watch this because there's no development. You just open a larger cast and that's it. I got a cheat code in another world. I like this. This has second season has been confirmed. Um, I give it a 8, a strong 8, only because it does not make no sense. Um, he is a high schooler who has access to a gate in his closet that gives him the ability to go to another world, a dimension you would say, that has creatures and everything. He gets overpowered very quickly because he's got these equipment from this unknown sage that like also created that gate. So when he walks in from the closet, he goes into this cabin that's surrounded by A-tier monsters, but he has these S-tier gear. He accidentally kills a monster, he gets super powered right away, and then he kills more and becomes OP from episode 1. Um, this it's a strong 8 because it mixed with CGI, both the monsters and the characters. Depending on the perspective it was generated. It is terrible combination that should never be together. Not only do people hate CGI, and I hate it the most, but when you mix it with drawn out work, you got robots with no emotions. They're just memeing and mimicking, and that's it. Um, Another thing is, when I say it doesn't make sense, and I'm talking about the world and the people's understanding. So he brings all these abilities to his home world, the modern world. He punches and wrestles a motherfucking grizzly bear. Remind you, there's no grizzly bears in Japan. Um, but he wrestles a grizzly bear and he beats it. He knocks it unconscious. Then I think he kills it in front of the whole class that went out for a field trip. And not one of them thought it was strange. They were like, "Oh wow, you saved me, thank you." They're not asking, "Hey, you just fucking wrestled and killed a bear by punching it," or the fact that you jumped from top of the school to the bottom because one girl got bullied by a wannabe high school thugs from another school. And they don't see that as weird whatsoever. You literally jumped fucking 30 feet and you run right to a person and beat up 20 fucking people and they just like give you a facial expression and then that's it, then they just accept it as it is. Terrible job. You should be ashamed of yourself for whitewashing these characters because now, because of that expectation, every character added and every character, even including himself, is stereotypical and whitewashed. Like, there's no personality. It's a bunch of girls that like him. It's going to become a harem on second season because she likes him, she likes him, she likes him, and there's other girls that's not shown on here that likes him too. So it's getting there. Going on. God damn. This one, Jobless Reincarnation, is beautiful. I think they finished it. Um, is this 2025? No. Uh, no, I think they came with a fourth season. Third season, a lot of stuff. I'm not going to give spoilers. This is the pureness of what Isekai should be. There was nothing wrong with this. This is me 100%. And I loved the dub of this. The character, the guy that portrays the character, his voice was beautiful and it was not obnoxious. They did a great job for it. Um, well, I also should say his narrative was adult. Like he was telling a story about what happened when he was a kid. I think there's 3 seasons. Each season he grows. He was a little kid at first. I think at like 12, and at the like he dies. Uh, um, for his life, he was like unemployed. He was bullied. Everything. He hid. He was a shut-in and jerked off to anime and died. That's basically it. Like he lived a sad life. Um, wakes up born as a baby, so he has all adult mentality, and thought and intelligence, and he utilizes it. And he develops and he understands the world that he was brought in, learning that there's magic, and he studies and he learns with his analytical thinking, and he becomes a sorcerer. But his father, who was a warrior, and his mom, who was a sorcerer, so he had to learn from both parents. They get a tutor that he has a fascination for, and he's a panty thief, so he also has a perverted side. Like anyone else, you're to be a pervert. And thankfully enough, it shows how a real person would behave in an isekai world. Perfect balance between drama, romance, fighting, and slice of life. And the fact that it doesn't have that, kind of sad. I would have liked more action. Um, it doesn't have nudity, sadly. It does have some uh, semi fan service, but not like panty shots, just like topless scenes with a chick holding her front part of her chest. That's about it. Definitely should put a little bit more sexual innuendos on that part, like just a fan service part. Then there would have been a perfect balance between adult behaviors and reality. I give it a 9. Um, Definitely worth enjoying. Sweet Reincarnation, like I said before, I don't deal with children things, and the fact that adults listen to children and children behave the way they want, very boring. Here, everything was good, great. The downfall comes in when it was rushed. He got in character development, he had enough time to develop, but it had a lot more promise. It could have had ability to become a harem, but it didn't, which is fine because they didn't introduce a shitload of women. They had a balance between genders. I give it a 7. It's worth watching, but don't expect a lot. It's very limited on the aspects. Moving to this one, I think I had this in my. No, I didn't. Plan to watch. Um, I did see this on Facebook. I was meaning to watch it. Um, I might have seen it actually. It kind of looks familiar. There's a lot of slimes. It reminds me of something. Um, yeah, it's a 6, so don't expect much. I'm gonna say it's a 7. Moving on. Here's the second season. Um, Great continuation. It didn't deviate. It explains he grew up more. He went from an adolescent to a teenager, and the next one he's going to be a young adult. And that's how it should be. You put years in, your character should grow. Moving on. Am I actually the strongest? I want to shoot myself in the balls right here and now. This is a 6. Um, got a lolly. You got a subservient woman who has a mentality. She definitely would throw herself at him if he asked. He was an adult in his old life. I can't remember how he died or whatever. I think it was like a car crash or a van or whatever. A truck came in. Um, he grows into this from a child in the beginning. Literally, they don't give much for character development for the main character on this aspect. Like, just like it's all there from the first episode, which really sucks because it doesn't really give him the maturity that he needs. The story is very weak. The subplot is very weak. The character design's beautiful. The character personalities are whitewashed and stereotypical. And that's it. Um, I haven't watched this. I don't do romance fantasies. Uh, the Saint's magic powers omnipotent. This girl has ability. She takes time. It's worth watching when you get stuck with watching so many male MCs. Um, it's a good balance. It's worth watching. It's I want to say a slice of life. Yep. So it's another one to help balance out everything. Eminence and Shadow Season 2. I don't even know why it was at 8.5. It's a 9. This is a 9. It gotten better. It was at 8.5. Now it's a 9. Season 2 is the pinnacle for Season 3, which was announced. Wait, it's not announced. It's in the making, not announced. That's what I'm thinking, because it was just too fucking popular. It was too amazing. And the longer it goes on, the stronger it gets, and the more pressure the developers will have. Um, it's a harem, and it still doesn't say a harem. It's a harem. It's subservience. That's the only thing that's splitting that. But the guy's cocky, arrogant, but confident, and that confidence helps balance out all of that. And it's just funny how he his own narration's like, well, I'm kind of lost. And then he finds the bad guy that no one could find. He fucking obliterates them, and he's overpowered. There's like he has no match. Like he had no match. He definitely has no match. But he grew from season 1 to season 2, and it shows. The Rise of the Shield Hero, the same thing. It's season 3. Um, this is where the story starts to spread out too weakly. When I say weak, like they rush a lot of it, so it doesn't flush out what it should have had. It was rushed on character development, and it was not given enough attention to some of the more important scenes. But still worth watching. I say it's a 7.5 to an 8. Only because if you watch the first 2 seasons, you might as well just finish all of them. Same thing here. I don't do children. I don't do. I haven't watched this yet. I'm not gonna watch it either. Although they might have some attractive blind chick here and there, but yeah, no, I'm not gonna watch it. Definitely don't do children stuff. Faraway Paladin is another, like Grimgar. It is one of those ones where a guy sacrificed so much. He grew up in poverty. He has worked into becoming something, but there is sacrifices all throughout the anime, and this is what makes it bittersweet and beautiful. It's worth watching. I give it an 8.5 out of 10, and I'm not going to spoil it. It is too wonderful to ruin it for you. I'm not going to watch this. This is stupid. Um, a man into a pig. Now they're just becoming obnoxious and weird. I'm not even gonna. A 6. That just tells you right there. Campfire cooking is all it is a guy that cooking in a campfire. Um, that's it. And stupid. I think it's just comedy. I think comedy is what really brings it out. Spirit Chronicles, I haven't watched it, but due to his hairstyle, it's already going to tell me he's confident and cocky. He's also going to be ignorant towards women flirting or having feelings for him. It's a harem, so of course it's going to be like that. Um, I'm going to plan to watch because with harems, I wanted to see it's romance. If it's if it got some, no, it's not 18 plus, so it's not going to have no nuki nuki. Um, Sake and Peeps. Oh my god, did I thought I hit the gold mine with this. This is my number 6. It was recently done. I am waiting for second season. I don't know why they gave this a 7. This is absolute gold. This is 8.5. This shows plots within plots of story. It's rich. It has good character development between the main characters, though it kind of washes out on some aspects. This person has a pet named Pete's who transformed himself into a bird. He was a grand sage, legendary person from his world, in another dimension. He opens the gate to come here to escape from being assassinated and all that from kingdoms. Teaches this guy how to do magic. Um, go from there to him learning and trying to make a profit because he's a salary man who doesn't have much for uh, income. He's stuck where he's at. He's also comfortable, so building into it, he has like he starts becoming confident. He grows mature in maturity. I mean, like you're already middle aged, you're already matured, but you get out of those fears. You become more confident, and that's what I like. This is all fan service and boob. Worth watching, but you are getting a 6.5. Stories a week. It is all focused on harem and boob, which is fine. Um, Villainous level 99. This one, based off of the game that she played, she gets brought into the game that she beat. Um, it is romance, it's school, and slice of life. Not really a lot for slice of life, but the story is that these students are being raised to train and fight the next demon lord, and they don't realize the demon lord was already destroyed by her by mistake. Like she didn't even realize she did it, and they're like, oh well, the demon lord's gonna happen. She's a hidden boss. Like she raised from a child, grew up, you know, in that inconvenience. Like, oh yeah, I trained in the worst place imaginable, and I didn't realize it. Like I got in this item that absorbed magic. I used magic, destroyed something stronger, and I became so much more. Like she maxed out like at 12. Like yeah. So everyone else is like 14 and 20. Most cockiest one has like a level of 27, and then here's 99. Um, she's able to destroy cities and everything. There's some show of power, not a lot. It's worth watching, but this chick is indecisive. That guy's manipulative and weird. Same with this guy right here. Um, Female MC, which is fine. It's good balance from watching all these fucking male characters. I gave it a 7.5. No. The Wrong Way to Use Healing. This is comedy. This is funny. It got a lot of action. Hot girls. Uh, it needs to be more perverted. It needs to be 18 plus and actually show gore and everything and sacrifices. That's all it's missing. Story's good. Character development requires it to have more seasons, which will be coming because this is from last year. The Weakest Tamer. This is junk. This is 7.5. This boy who never grows. Well, never grow because he doesn't grow through the fucking thing. Through the series. Uh, Tamed all the monsters and can use them. That's all I remember. I haven't watched this. I don't do children. Definitely when a guy's in a bath with girls right by him. Fluffy Paradise. Didn't watch it. Don't do children stuff. Tales of the Wedding Ring. This is the censored version of this one. The Haircut. I haven't watched this. Yeah, no. If I'm a villain, I would stay the villain. Inshura is now there was an anime. It's not Isekai, but it's like the pantheons versus the humans. Like all the gods say, "Hey, we need to destroy humans," and then one of the Valkyries like, "Hey, you need to give them the chance to make that decision themselves. Let's do a tournament." And the narrator that did this one did that one. Amazing person. I think it's from the same person too. Um, so you had in the old one, which isn't Isekai, where humans pick their biggest heroes throughout the time, from like fucking Adam to Hannibal to Jack the Ripper. All these people the Valkyrie picked because she was representing them to fight the gods that they would pick as their champions. And it was like 12 matches, and I think it was 2 seasons. But it was really it it's where they dedicate the whole episode to that character, and that so you get to know that character and their opponent and their abilities, and it gives it that like climactic point before they're fighting, and then the next episode they fight. So I think they only did like 6 fights in the first season and the last fights in the last season. Really good, really amazing. God damn. Yeah. This one, Ishura, falls in the same exact line. They gave it 6.5 because people got tired of them introducing new characters for 2 whole seasons. They literally spent 2 seasons. One season showed character developments of each character, but not all characters that we're going to go into the tournament that they're about to go into. Um, they they introduced 12 characters, but only 4 make it to the second season, and the other ones just get fucking slaughtered. So get ready to get your heart broke. Enjoy the action because it's a good amount, and yeah, it's worth it. I give it a solid 8, just because I already knew what was going into it. Remonster is a harem, absolute, and I don't know why it's not. Like, he literally fucks every fucking woman in here. Um, he was a he died. He was resurrected as a goblin, born, and they have a short lifespan. But he pushes himself into what do you call it? Um, to grow, and they evolve by consuming and fighting. And that's what they did. They were goblins. This is like season 2. But they work on it. characters are very stereotypical, semi-weak. There's no boob. It's just, yeah, there's no boob. But they do fuck. You just don't see it. It's like insinuating sex. Like moans, groans, shadows. That's all you're getting. Um, I give it a 7.5 because the story was very weak and they didn't stay on topic with it, and they kept on bouncing back and forth, back and forth. Um, and he fucks the humans, so it's like interspecies sex and all that. Um, moving on, Konosuba, same thing. Reincarnated as an aristocrat. He's a kid. He never grows up. She grows up. Like, literally, like, she was like him 2 years prior. And then 2 years later, she's that. Everyone else is the same. Decent fighting. It's a conquest, but he's born into noblehood. And people take charge by him. Like, a fucking king listens to a kid. So it's like one of those weird things. Um, like I would totally understand if like season 2 he like fucking grows, and I hope he does, because if he doesn't, then it's not worth watching the second season, though you'll probably have to. This one is a slap in the dick. Like absolute stereotypical harem slash no fuckery, no fan service. Um, this is a big bimbo, stupid wolf that turned into a human. They're all considered demons. You got stupid, weak female characters. She gets slapped out, beat out of her by him though. Um, he's omnipotent from day one. He is stupid, airheaded, ignorant, arrogant, and doesn't take advantage of any situation. Um, if I was him, I would completely ravaged my harem hood, which it is a harem, although they only consider it not a harem because he married her, but all these women will definitely go for him. But I think the only hot one is this chick right here, the genie. Um, like any other harem, you got the lolly, you got the arrogant, airheaded royal knight chick, you got the fucking weird ass chick, you got the buff dumbass bitch. Yeah, no. Um, this anime is a 6. Um, plot's weak, animation is good, beautiful characters, but that's all you get. This one had so much working for it, and I still enjoy it, but he becomes overpowered, and the women around him are beautiful, but he doesn't take advantage. It's a conquest, um, but his nation is in a pocket dimension. He builds a military and everything. It's 2 seasons, I believe. I think the third one's coming this or next year. I give it an 8, a solid 8. She's the hottest one, I think. Um, it's good balance of fighting. He does have challenges, so he's not superly overpowered, but it's like really weird how they have him overpowered. Like it doesn't make sense in an aspect. But anyways, moving on. Ghibli, the movie, The Boy and the Heron. Um, this I haven't watched. I've been meaning to. Ghibli does not make bad movies. Until the director leaves. I give this a 8. All his movies are 8s. Princess Mononoke is a 9. It should have had more fan service because it had like one little one where a chick's blouse opens up a little bit but only shows cleavage. But that's it. I want to watch this, but this is based on children. Like, I think Princess Mononoke was like the only one where they were like semi-adult, like they were like 17, 18 of age. Everything else of Ghibli's were like Spirited Away, and this one, um, they're like children, and this is how children perceive the world, and it's beautiful artwork, and it's a beautiful story, well done, well executed. They don't make series. Ghibli's make movies. Um, and that's all they focus on. Although I would love a series from them, definitely with their art style. This is season one. No, this is two. You got season two, part two, and season two, part one, and you got season three. Um, they did good. You can tell they did good because they improved. She was a little girl in season one. They grew up. He was a kid. Now you see that he's more of a young man. I'm not going to spoil it. It's worth watching. It does not leave 9. It's 8.5 here, but I give it a 9 because it's a good balance of everything. And I'm so proud of these guys that did this work. All right. God damn, how many more do I have? Finally. Um. So this is another one where the guy is an airhead. He doesn't really use his brain, has the worst fucking hair. Like, who in the fuck has two little blue antennas coming from the side of his head? And it's not antennas, it's just hair. Characters are beautiful, development is limited. Um, Big Boo Bimbo, you got Ghost Lolly. Um, Characters are stupid. That's it. His ability is instant death, and can do it to practically almost anything. Um, and that's where a lot of the flaws come in. I still gotta watch it. I think I already have it on my list, but I'm gonna make sure I have it on there. I think I closed it out. I think I got fucking tired after the first episode, which was like the good one. The rest of it is like, all right, I'm just gonna look at it for the fan service, which isn't there. Um, Gate was alright. Um, Nothing noticeable in Suit. Like, it's stereotypical. It's the same as any other action, fantasy, swords and sorcery. You got OP character with these damsels in distress who thinks they can fight anything. You got a MC that has to do all the fight because like you can't even leave the side characters for fucking mediocre soldiers. Um, Moving on. This is a special worth watching just because it's a part of the story. I don't watch CGI, and this is a Chinese CGI, so it makes it even worse because they exaggerate the magic and the animation just not there. CGI is hell. I don't watch this because it's not the anime. I started to watch this, then I realized it's just a bunch of fucking kids and no real story. It's just slice of life. I didn't watch this. This is romance slice of life. Um, Retry. I've seen it. It doesn't have much potential. It's literally like a 5. Um, I can't even remember. Like, the characters here are all generic. I don't watch Children. Aristocrat Season 2. Still the same age. That's what it was. Big Boob. I think this is the same storyline. Like, season 1 and 2 is like a 1 or a 2 year gap. That's about it. Failure Frame was good to a point. Everything's CGI. I fucking hate it. Characters are semi CGI up to perspective wise than they are, and I hate it for that. So I give this a 7.5. This girl is like head over heels for him. She'll offer her body to him. This one right here calls him daddy. Although it was this chick leopard that raised her. This is a big boob bimbo who's stupid as fuck. Um, the story on this one was a classroom gets transported. They rank everyone's abilities. He was like the lowest level, but he like rank. He only had low level spells, and so there was like no opportunity for him. Like he had like what's called DOT, damage over time, and like, oh no, we need instant death specials, but he ended up growing into the labyrinth because she like cast him out to die. Um, but he survives and moves forward. Persevered. That's like the best part of it, and then it just like becomes trash. He does has a vendetta against the bitch, so he's going to go and try to kill her. I would do something more degenerate first before killing her, but that's just me. I don't watch this style of anime. It's Chinese expressed. There are some good Chinese anime, and there's other ones that's just it's too exaggerated. Like it's completely different than regular. Um, this is season two. Well, no, three. This is the one that I didn't watch. Um, it's one of those things where I have to finish. I watched the first two seasons. I had to finish the third one. These two are now dating. They have a daughter that's not their daughter. They just adopted a girl. A little lolly mermaid ordeal. That always has a tendency of sitting on his lap. It's really weird. It's very weird. Um, it's a harem, and all the women fall for him, but he's like, no nonsense, fuck it. I'm not gonna touch you, but I'll kiss her, which is really stupid because I would just take advantage of everything. This is another Chinese all CGI I don't watch. Um, this one I don't think I watched. But since they gave it a 6, I definitely, I think I watched this. I just think I dropped it. But we'll find out eventually. Um, Possibly the greatest, whatever. This is another child, arrogant, ignorant, airheaded. The majority of these Isekai has no past life experiences. He totally forgets about his suffering. Now he's just overpowered. His abilities make no sense. This one, you don't reminiscence. This one, there's no reminiscence. Um, I can't even remember this one. I did watch it. I remember this one. And her. God dang it. Yeah, I have it on my watch list. Did I add it? I don't know. I'm not gonna watch children fucking shit. This one, I'm confused. I'm not even gonna watch it. They gave it a 5. I'm not gonna watch this. It's 7.5 for that. Dad's been reincarnated. I think this is one of those, yeah, comedy fantasy schools. I'm not gonna watch that. I don't know. All the anime artwork is good, but when it comes to school, they're all the same. Every single one. You got people who's jealous. You have people who are fawn over you. You got people who's airhead, and the main character is the worst. Like, if it's comedy, there's a goal to it. Season 3, that means 4 has been, yeah, 4 is coming out in 2025, this year. I haven't watched this. This is children fantasy. I'm not gonna watch this, though she looks cute. Proportionate body, by the way. You know what? I'm just gonna put it down there. It's a harem, so you already know there's gonna be a fucking lolly added to it. Yeah, that's right there. I bet she's just gonna be having him as a daddy. Um, this one I'm already gonna tell you it's the same thing as all the other fucking isekai that this stuff. Um, just different characters, looks, and I'm going to go based off of looks and see what kind of online shopping he's going to be having. Never seen this one. The artwork looks good. If they gave it a 7.5, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a little bit more. But it's really hard for me to do comedy romance. I'm sorry, but it's a bad combo for me. I don't watch Power Rangers. Um, this is a movie, all fantasy romance school. I don't watch. Overlord the Sacred Kingdom. It just came out. I'm gonna watch this. Probably twice. This is the one I was mentioning that just came out. This supersedes all the others. I would give it a 9.2 out of 10, only because it doesn't have the boobies. But it's definitely got the gore. Plan to watch. Konosuba, I still have the hots for her. There's Megumin's middle-aged sister. It is what it is. This one is a slice of life. School and slice of life. And it doesn't have it. It's low rating and just came out. So that means it's just, what do you call it? Yeah, it just doesn't have the viewership to really increase it. So I'm not going to say much on it. And I definitely won't watch it anyways. But that's it for the high anime ones. Look at that. 1100 fucking. That is absurdly long. But they're still going. I'm wondering what the pay scale is for these voice actors from season 1 to the most recent season. Because they better be getting money off of that. This is like literal lifetime. This is like The Simpsons. Apothecaries is actually. They didn't have that one on there. That's Isekai. Yeah. I mean, overall, you got out of all this, you got my thoughts on these animes. Ishira, this is the second season. I swear, did I skip these? No, I just missed this one. This is the second season. It ends on getting all the challengers. Just like the first season, it's gotten better. It was like 6.8, now it's 7.2. It finished airing. Next one's coming out next year, probably around the same time. But expect good stuff because they're gonna start their tournament next season. But you got a lot of prospects. It's just your expectations and your standards on anime. I'm fucking 36. I got standards to uphold, and I'm just tired of all these filling in, and so hard to find stuff that's just adult isekai. It's like if I want adult, I need to go to action, and I need to go historical, and I need to go into fucking police, and not even harem. Like they got fucking high schoolers in the harems, and there's no. Yeah. So that's your thoughts. Um, they're missing one. Parallel to another universe. Not parry everything. Fuck. well, I can't spell it. It should be on here. But it's Isekai. It had, it had great potential. It's called Parallel to Another Universe. Um, uh, Death March. Wait, was it Death March Parallel to Another Universe? That's what it's called. Death March. Two. It might be going off of the Japanese phrase, but it's about a guy who played video games. He was a developer who died from overworking, had a little bit of comedy in that aspect. Um, who comes into this new world, which is the game that he developed, but it doesn't really have a lot of historical factor to the game that he made, though the landscapes and everything are the same. Somehow he had like ultimate spell books because he had like, so he was fixing bugs in the game before, as it was in beta before it gets full released. He had to go and fix this bug. This bug ended up being like an overpowered spell, and he's seen a lot of like lizardmen or orcmen who were charging after him. He took an arrow to the arm, I think it was, or the knee, if you want to go the Skyrim route. Um, and due to fear, he rushed. He's seen like a meteor swarm. He launched it. The meteor swarm was like a level 10. Uh, I'm going to delete the entire zip code and then the next one over. And it killed an army of lizardmen and orcs and dragons and the demon lord and the demon army, and then that's where he became just ultimate, and he just had to learn the skills. He had experience points and everything, so he end capped at the beginning. um, but I think it was like a lot of skill based that he had to also work. So he had the points, he just couldn't get the skills until he unlocked them. So he had to learn the skill to unlock it, then he can drop the points into it. Um, but yeah, it was very well made. It was a lot of comedy. He saves a person, a pretty chick, and then it was the end. Like, he rescued some slaves. It was like a cat girl and a puppy girl and a lizard woman, and literally he just did a generic Lizzie and puppy and cat or whatever, and that was literally their names. So it was very obnoxious. It was a harem, and sadly enough, it had like 3 lollies and 2 adult women. It was really weird on that aspect. It had what do you call it? Promise for character development, but it was rushed. And season 2 has been announced this year, so might expect it end of the year. But besides that, that's it. This was supposed to have been like an hour, and I just didn't realize how many fucking isekai BS and how much I've seen, and I'm ashamed of it, but also not again because I'm a degenerate incel. Enjoy and have a nice day.